Hey, welcome back to I'm Repowering with Yamaha. We've got Josh's brand new F70 mounted. Wow, it's a really cool rig now. So one of the problems that we found when we were fitting the new motor is that the old transom just wasn't cutting it. We had to modify it, we lifted it, we changed the angle, we had it welded and strengthened to allow us to make that new F70 fit. So the transom change came for a reason, and that was for us to get the engine up higher. We're moving away from that static waterline. It's done that really well. We've done some on-water tests and made some measurements, and it has given us plenty of clearance now. What we found after doing the water test is that there was a lot of spray coming from the engine. So we went back to the workshop and measured the transom angle and found that it was well away from what we do in the modern world now. So we adjusted that by wedging it, and that's made a huge difference. No more spray and more usable trim when you're on the water. The new position of the motor allows us to get our engine up higher. Our bottom cylinder is safe and away from that static waterline. It's worked out really well, and along the way it's helped us get our cabling, steering cable, remote cables, our wiring loom, all looks nicer, it's cleaner through the back of the boat. We've decluttered the back of the boat, we've moved a lot of the wiring closer in behind the battery box, so Josh can get more of his fishing gear, extra fuel tanks if he needs. It's just cleaned that whole area up. So once we had the engine fitted, we needed to work further up the boat, along the side of the boat, new cables, looms, gauges. There was a lot of older gauges that were removed from the old engine, and that required us to put a acrylic backing board on there to give us a nice clean surface to work with. We've re-drilled some new holes, moved a switch panel, a fair bit of work involved. So Josh's old control box, which was held together by zip ties and duct tape, we've removed, and we've put a new control box on there to go along with the F70. We've actually repositioned it also just to make it work a bit better. It was catching on the seat in reverse, so we moved it just to allow the ergonomics to all work and make it easier to use for Josh. The next step is to head out onto the water and do prop testing and make sure that we have the engine bolted on at the right height. In terms of propeller selection, there are a lot of different options for us. We have a wide range of propellers here in stock that we use. We need to make sure that that propeller is bang on in terms of its out of the hole performance, mid-range and wide open throttle. So this part is quite exciting. We get to find out how well this boat is going to go, and if we nail that right prop, this boat is going to go so well. So once we head out of the workshop and put the boat in the water, we're going to make sure that any of the holes that we've drilled or sealed off are all leak free. We're going to make sure that our static waterline is nice and safe. We're going to try a few different positions for the boat. One will be in reverse. We'll check that when we're backing up, that we've got no water coming up over the back of the boat. We're also going to check that it's out of the hole performance is good. So it pops up onto the plane if he's wanting to do any water skiing or tow any ski biscuits around, that we've got good performance there. So with the old motor, we check some running characteristics, fuel burn versus speed. We change the RPM from 500 to 1,000, 1,500 RPM to 2,000, 2,500 to 3,000. Checking our speed versus fuel burn. So it'll be interesting to see what that's like in comparison to this new F70. So now we come to the customer handover, which is the most exciting time for us all. Not only the owner is going to be excited, but we get to show off all of the hard work that we've put in to turn this boat around and make it what it is. Yamaha provide us with a really comprehensive handover list that we can go through to make sure that we have not missed anything out, so when the customer comes in, he has the best possible experience.